Hello everyone. I thought I'd make a little video on an introduction to scrapbooking, and maybe that would spur some of you to do your own scrapbooking. So I'm going to talk about why scrapbooking, number one. Number two, I'm going to talk about the materials and essentials that you need for scrapbooking. And then I'm going to discuss a bit about the tips as well as some bonus things that you can do when you scrapbook. So why scrapbooking? There are really three main reasons why people scrapbook, and the first reason is because you want to make a memory of something for yourself or somebody else. For example, somebody's birthday, or there is like a wedding anniversary and you want to give something to somebody. And for me, I started scrapbooking because I had children, and I just wanted to keep little keepsakes of them when they were little because they grow up really, really fast. So the second reason why people scrapbook is because they want satisfaction from creating something that's totally personalized. So you can get satisfaction when you see the end product of what you've created, even after many years. And you also get satisfaction when you give it to somebody else and they feel really, really, really happy because they know that you spend a lot of time on it. The third reason why some people scrapbook is because you want to upcycle something. For example, if you have a box or a photo frame, then you can make it more beautiful and personalized when you upcycle it. Okay, so in order not to forget what to share with you, I actually made a list and I'm going to paste it at the side. So if you see me looking at the side, it's because I'm looking at my list. Okay, so the very first thing that you need in order to scrapbook is you need an idea. And this is really the most important thing that you need to plan. There must be a theme for your project. So for example, if it's a birthday, is it for a child's birthday or is it for an adult's birthday? And then you got to get the relevant decorative material in order to do your scrapbooking project. Now, the second thing that you really need are some materials, and depending on what your project is, you need some base materials. So if it's a card, you need some fairly firm paper. If it's a photo frame, then you need a photo frame, right? So you can start off by using construction paper first if you don't have scrapbooking paper, or if you do go to the scrapbooking store, then you can get some scrapbooking paper in the form of a 12 by 12 scrapbooking paper. This is the standard scrapbooking paper that most people use, and it is good because it's acid-free, and it is also double-sided. So one side is usually floral, and the second side is usually a more plain dull design. And scrapbooking paper in general is thicker in consistency as compared to other traditional paper, so you might find that to be useful as well. Okay, now after you have a base material, then you need things to cut and you need things to paste. So for things to cut, you definitely need a trusty scissors like this, and you will need a cutting mat. So for me, I personally prefer to use a cutting mat because it's more durable than using thick paper, for example. And a cutting mat has lines, and it allows you to cut straight. And also there are little squares that sort of help you with measurements when you're cutting your stuff. And for me, I got this from the dollar store. This was from Daiso if you live in Singapore or Japan, and it only cost me $2. So I'm really very happy with my $2 cutting mat. Okay, the other thing that you need is a penknife. And I personally recommend that you use a long transparent ruler. The reason is because if you have some item like a border that you want to cut, for example like this, okay, your transparent ruler will allow you to see whether you have sort of gone over the border, and this will really help you to cut in a straight line. So I'll just use my penknife and then I'll slide across my ruler, and then I get a very straight line. Definitely straighter than using a scissors, in my opinion. Okay, so moving on to things that you need to paste. After cutting, you need to paste. So you've got glue. Glue is useful if you have very bulky items that double-sided tape will not help to paste down. You need double-sided tape. And for me, I really like these foam bits. So foam bits are basically like double-sided tape, but they have a foam in between. So you can see they are thick like this, and they give a form of elevation to your project. So if you look at this item that I have here, you can see that it's held up by foam bits. Like there's a level of layers of foam bits at the side, and it really gives a form of like different layers to your project, which make it more outstanding, I feel. So definitely foam bits are very useful. Okay, now moving on to the third essential thing, you need some decorative items. So if the theme that you have in mind is very easily available from the craft store, for example, like this back to school sticker set that I have, then you can just take the relevant stickers that you want and then you just paste it down onto your project. That's really simple. If it's not available, or if you have paper that is really nice and suitable for your theme, such as this hopscotch paper, you can cut out the individual pictures and then you can paste it onto your project. So for example, I have this, I have cut out these little like unicorns here, and you can cut out as many as you like. That's a good part about using your own paper. And I've pasted it all around this unicorn themed picture here. So you can see cutting it out, it's very tedious, but it is also very beautiful. Aside from stickers and cutting out pictures, other things that you might find useful would include alphabet and number stickers. So I find that because these alphabet stickers are very prominent and shiny, they give like a extra oomph to your project. And usually they are elevated as well, like the fat foam ones, they are elevated, and so they give sort of like a caption to your project. And over here you can see I've made like her name in these alphabets, and you can see it's elevated. I put extra foam bits behind because I really love foam bits. If you have a subheading, then you can use smaller stickers which are not so shiny, so that they don't pull away the attention from your main heading. Other things that you might find useful would be washi tape. So washi tape is basically decorative tape, and in this washi tape roll, I've got a series of animals in a music band. Yes. So when you use washi tape, sometimes it gives you a really beautiful product just by putting one layer of washi tape. So it's something that you can use when you're short of time. Okay, the last thing that I wanted to share for decorative items would be special scrapbooking paper. And by special, what I mean is that some scrapbooking paper, they come in specific layouts like this. So if you have this scrapbooking paper, you can actually cut out this individual square, and then it says let's eat. So if you have like a cooking theme project, then that is what you can use. Okay, the fourth thing that I'm going to share with you are some tips. So firstly, don't throw your scraps away, because scrapbooking is about using scraps, right? So like you can see over here, I've got these tiny little hearts that I kept aside, and I had them cut out and I put them at the corners of this project over here. And even little strips of paper like these are very useful, because you can put them onto the sides of photos, and they kind of frame it pretty nicely like that. Okay. Another thing that you might find useful is when you use your foam bits, you will find that there are some little borders left behind. You can trim these to size, and you can use them for very tiny little sticker items. For example, if you have little dots like that, then those corners come in handy as well. So don't throw scraps away. You never know when they'll come in handy. Okay, now what else can we do when we scrapbook? We have to be really creative. Sometimes you have an idea in your head, and when you put it all together, it doesn't look as nice as you thought it would. And don't be disappointed, because that happens to me very often too. And so I find that when I scrapbook, my table gets really messy, because I just take out everything that I have, and then I put it together on my project, and then I basically rotate it around, and it helps me to decide which item I should use. And you'll be surprised, because sometimes things that doesn't seem to fit together, they come together in a different way, and you'll be astonished by the result, which might be a lot better than what you originally thought you would have. Okay, now the fourth thing that I'm supposed to talk about are bonus items. So bonus items are things that you can get, which can be useful but not totally necessary. So for example, you can never have enough washi tape. So I've got like a big stack of washi tape here, as you can see, and because they come in all different patterns, so you really find them very useful, because different patterns are useful for different themes and different projects, right? So you can never have enough washi tape. And it also helps you when you want to save time, or when you're hard pressed for time, because just putting one piece of washi tape across helps with your decoration immensely. Another thing that you can get are craft punches like this. So this is a single line craft punch. Sometimes craft punches come with a border as well. So for example, if you see this is a craft punch, and then this is the complementary corner that you can see. So this allows you to actually cut all around a piece of paper, and you end up with something like that. So this is useful for things like cards and envelopes and just a label, for example. Other than that, you can also have some decorative ribbons. and some decorative flowers like these, and even some really big decorative stickers, which you probably just need one and it really looks really good on your project already. Other things that you can consider getting would be like little stamps, and you don't need to buy traditional scrapbooking ink. You can just use normal ink if you have a stamp pad at home. I also have a little toolkit which I recently bought but I haven't tried. I guess if it's very useful, I will recommend it in another video. So I bought this toolkit here, which has like a cutting tool, and it comes with the scissors and also a forceps. So I really bought it for the forceps because I find that when my fingers are a little big and chunky and I want to hold very tiny stickers, it's very difficult. So the forceps will come in handy when using it for very small stickers. I think that's about it, you know. These are all the tips and bonus stuff that I have to share today. I hope you find that it is useful, and do stay tuned for other videos.